What's up? You're now tuning into the No Yes Man podcast.
No. Yes.
It's episode 6. You know what I'm saying? Get your hand in my pocket episode. It's your boy New Future Flash. We got...
It's your boy S. Dot.
It's your boy Trues.
The Real Mall.
Hey.
You gonna have to change your...
I'm not.
You gonna have to change your IG in a second.
Yo, Joe Budden's
to the
gonna
Real
come
Mall.
right here.
I'm like, I don't see the Real Mall on here.
That's true. Made in Memphis.
It's gonna be right here somewhere.
Right about here.
It's Sir IG.
Like X-Pop.
Yeah,
IG's gonna be here. Okay.
So, we didn't get to our 4 episodes last month for Black History Month.
Yep.
So, we kind of want to do one more Black History moment.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Which I got.
All right,
And
so
go ahead.
the great moment that we all been waiting for, or that we don't really know about. Random fact: for those of you that have been to Duke, West Campus. Everybody knows the infamous Duke Chapel, West Campus. The library's over there, whatever. Was actually the lead architect. Ralph, this is up your alley. And you may know him. His name is Julian Abel. And it was an architecture firm out of Philadelphia, and he was the lead architect for the whole West Campus of Duke. So that's really, really cool. I just found that out this week. Just stumbled upon that. So, just know we built a lot of great things that people, I'm not going to say a certain group of people, but people really like to see, you know what I mean? And we don't know, very seldom do we get the credit for it. So, next time you're over at Duke, I mean, it's rare to be over there, but you see that chapel, just know Black man built it.
And if you want to learn about some of the not so much talked about people in Black history, I hate to say this because I didn't like it, but that Kevin Hart Netflix special that he did, the Kevin Hart Black History thing, he talked about a lot of stuff that I learned a lot. I ain't gonna lie, but I didn't like the presentation of it so much. But it was definitely dope. Like
Why didn't you like it?
I feel like it was more like kid-based, gimmicky, like kind of comical.
Spoofing nobody.
Yeah, I mean, true, yeah, but it just wasn't like.
I put the candy in the medicine.
Yeah, it just wasn't for me though. Like,
I like that saying.
That's really what it is though. Like you feeding them good quality information, but you're making it digestible and giving them a laugh, stuff like that. But you come away with it learning a lot more than you thought you were. But it also keeps your attention because a lot of people, you hit them with too many facts, too much history, they kind of
brush off. Yeah,
they kind of get on their phones, but if they laugh and enjoying themselves, they might not realize at the end of the episode, like, man, I learned a lot.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it was really good for kids. Like, if you're a kid, I feel like you're definitely going to be engaged in it. But he's talking about a bunch of people that you really don't even really hear about. Like, it kind of seems like he's joking, but these are real stories. You know what I mean?
And it honestly may have been aimed for kids. Because, I mean, at this point, they are the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Realistically. So
J. Cole said it best. I'm dead in the middle between 2 generations.
And that's how I feel, bro. I feel like that for
that's
real.
A fact, they are the future, though.
I
so
told you
why not
that, too.
Make it digestible for them. You know what I'm saying?
Shouts out to J. Cole for that video, too.
In Kevin Hart's special, he set it up, though. It was basically for the kids.
Yeah, because he's talking to his daughter.
He was talking to his daughter, and her little friend had been over. So they were like, he was explaining the whole breakdown to give them an understanding. So I guess if you put it in context, it makes sense that it was geared towards the youth.
Yeah, it was good to learn some. Like I said, it was good to learn about some new people. Like I said, check it out if you want to hear some more stuff about Black history that you don't really get to see. It's not about the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna shout out my man Samuel Jackson. So this could be fake news, but I'm going ahead and say that it's real news because his name is Samuel, and I might be a little bit biased, but I mean, hey, I saw that Samuel Jackson was the highest grossing actor ever. Like
all time, not just black.
All time, not just black, but they said ever. And the crazy thing is my man started when he was 43. Like, if that ain't motivation to like chase your dreams, like
his first movie
when he was 43.
That's crazy.
Like, we get every day that we get is the only time that we get to really chase your dreams. So when people say like make the most out of your day, like of course go to work and do your thing, but make sure you find some time to like make your passion come to life. Like I said before, I just posted this on my Facebook. Like, we all got our own agendas that we do. Like, Maul, you got a family. Like, Heather, you got a family. Like, we all go to work. We get our job done. But after hours, we transform into CEOs. We transform into artists, producers, like stylists, like designers. Like, take advantage of that extra time to work on yourself. Don't waste it watching TV and like bullshitting it away. Make sure you're doing productive things. Like, he started when he's 43. Like, he could have easily quit so many times. You know what I mean?
Hey, say what you said the other post about the kids you don't have yet. I thought that was so dope.
Oh, I said I'm working this hard to make the kids proud, make my kids proud that I don't have yet. Like, one day people like gonna be asking about me and they gonna be like, yeah, that's my dad. Like, you know what I mean?
I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, I was like, so that's what find your motivation, y'all. Like, I didn't have what I would say like the ideal family. Like, my mom raised 3 boys. You know what I mean? So like, my pursuit in life is to have like a whole family, like me and my wife, and have kids and do things like that. So that's the projection that I have on my future. Like, that's what I'm working for. You know what I mean? I'm working for it today. I'm planting those seeds today so that 20 years down the line, I can say, dang, I thought about that 20 years ago.
Even being mentally aware of that, though, is dope. Because it takes a lot of people, when they have kids, that's that fire, that light on their ass for them to get moving. Yeah. So the fact that you're even aware of that, consciously thinking about that now, that you will one day have kids, and you going and putting things in place for when that happens already.
Yeah. The one big thing that all of us got in common is we want to be free. Thanks. You know what I mean? We gotta get it so that our family's financially free, so we can actually do the things that we love. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of the youth, I want to shout out this one company. It's called Airlana. It's a company out of Durham, and it's at the Haiti Heritage Center. And they basically go to the high schools. Yeah, they go to the high schools as a freshman, and they offer a flight program. So by the time they're a senior, they have enough flight hours and they can become a pilot. They can get their license. That's crazy. So that's basically hitting the ground running. That's the type of things that we need to start promoting, because everybody's promoting college, and college is cool and everything, but you come out. No, but I'm saying you come out later. You're not hitting the ground running. You're behind. You're dead and all of that stuff.
Well, you got to know what you're going for too.
No, but I've met with a lot of mentors this past week who are professors. And a lot of them, it's a reoccurring thing that they say. They say, you don't go to college. I think when people are in college, their main goal is like, I got to get a job. You know what I mean? I got to get a job. And with 3 of my mentors said this past week was, you're not in college, to get a job. He said, you're in college to gain knowledge, like to get a general education. You know what I mean? And like, to better yourself, to deepen your knowledge and understanding of things that you're interested in. I mean, unless you're
find out who you are,
right? Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean. So don't just go so I can be like, oh, where am I going to work after this? Go so I can be like, I'm a knowledgeable being. You know what I mean. And knowledge will take you further than a job.
And take those electives that are like off the wall, those things that you like, you really kind of got an interest in, but you really don't want to pursue it. Like, but it's like I might take Swahili. Like, you know what I mean? Just to take it. You know what I mean? Just to take it. But I feel like a lot of people too go to college because they hear that's the next step. Like, and I was victim of it too. Like, I got to college and everybody was telling me, yo, you need to be a chem meet. You need to be a chem meet. They make good money. And I got to be a junior and I hated it. Yeah. And I literally like had to think, and I was like, yo, there's no way that I can do this for the next 30 years. Yeah. Like, there's no way that I can do this for the next 30 years. And then, but by that time it was, I'm 3 years in, I got all my credits already, and I'm like, it's too late to quit that, you know what I mean? So then I had to like reflect and like figure out what I really liked and really find something that I could pursue to finish college, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you don't want to keep switching your major because you're just racking up money, you know what I mean? And then that's what a lot of people do. They go into like with these big dreams, like I'm going to make this money off this career, and then you end up like doing something like, say you like end up like switching to like music, and music doesn't make the same as an engineer starting straight out. You know what I mean? If you go into like production or something like that, but you got $200K in student debt, and you like, shit, like, well, my original plan, I would have been good. Like, but you know what I mean? So I think it's important for people, like you said, to get into different programs that kind of expose you to things.
The earlier the better. Like I tell my son all the time, I ask him, I was like, you know, a lot of my friends, they're paying like $250 to $400 in student loans a month.
Some more than that.
I was like, that's a Bentley. Yeah. That's a BMW.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a BMW. So it's like, you want to drive a BMW or you want to pay for this education?
Yeah.
Start now.
Yeah.
Learn everything now. Like, I put a little ass in piano class, like, last week.
Learn something,
So he's learning everything possible.
Especially while you can.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the school that they're going into now, my sister, she's 8. No, she's 9. She's speaking Japanese, bro. Yeah. She's speaking...
13 a month?
Nah,
student loan?
but that's an apartment. That's what I'm saying. So either you want to pay for an apartment, or you want to pay for this education that 9 times out of 10 you're not even gonna get a job in that field.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy about it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It just goes back to like your major and what you study. It doesn't define what you will do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's so many people who are history majors, but they're like CEOs of like a firm. You know what I mean? It's just like what you're good at and what you want to learn, like what you're interested in. It's a thin line between the two.
I think all college show employers is that you're able to
follow
stick to something and accomplish it. Like you're able to go through some difficult, hard times, make it through, and accomplish something.
Yeah. Right.
You can learn a bunch of different shit at one time.
On the job, when you get there. Like,
like back to what Sam, like almost time what Sam said earlier is, and what you said too, Long. Basically, like the best advice I can say that I got, and this was from my father. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they had the most, you know what I'm saying, outstanding job, but they did a great job in doing everything that I think they blessed me with. And I appreciate all that, you know what I'm saying, being older. But it's the advice he gave was don't choose something in college or when you're going that next step for us. You pick something for you. No matter how much money it makes or it doesn't make, it doesn't matter. As long as you love it. Right. And you enjoy doing it, that's what's gonna push you to keep going every day.
But you gotta like self-reflect before you do that. Like that's what I'm saying. Because it wasn't until like I was like ready to drop out that I was like, okay, I can't drop out, so I gotta sit here and really think about what I can do for at least the next 25 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what though, you can say that, but a lot of people won't believe it, and I was a victim of that. That whole like doing what you love. I thought that was bogus. I'm like, bro, it's a job. I'm going to get a paycheck. I'm not going to love going to work. Like, who loves going to work? Until I got into HR.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely enjoy getting up every day, and because I impact lives every day. Like, I'm either helping you get jobs for the people when I do the recruiting piece of it, and getting people in, hiring people, interviewing people. Like, the best part of my day is calling the person and telling them that you've gotten the job. Like,
they'd be happy.
That's
You can see the smile through the phone.
And then we just recently started doing like on-site events, and instead of letting them leave, we actually hold them in a room and give it to them in person. Like I literally had somebody the other day, 2 days ago, like cry. Yeah. Like it was the most fulfilling, like amazing thing. In the
think about when you really need one, and you like, yo, if I don't get this job, it's over, dog.
So like, speaking of, and then like the people, I need a job, bro.
And then like I had a young guy. I think he was 19, fresh out of high school. He came in, interviewed. He wasn't ready, wasn't prepared. His resume. Pretty terrible. You could tell he just went on Word and just typed it up. Mm-hmm. But I was able to, in that moment, after the interview was over, kind of push things aside and be like, yo, look, interview aside, like, let's talk about some things. Like, your appearance, like, this is what you should do. Like, do this next time. Like, go do this.
Yeah, you can coach
even if you can't afford it, like, the Goodwill, you can do this. Okay, your resume. I asked him straight up. I said, yo, did you go online and look at templates for resumes? He went, nah. I'm like, why?
Yeah, knowledge, like everything's on the internet.
He's like, I don't know. I'm like, did you know that there were templates online? Right. He's like, man, yeah, I heard. I'm like, don't hear. From now, go look at the template. You're honestly not ready right now.
Now that he know he prepared for the next time. Yeah. Now you just put a brother on.
Moving forward,
he ready for the next time. Next time he's gonna be extra sharp. He's gonna get it because now he's been exposed. You know what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the great thing about this podcast is like we got a chance to basically spread knowledge that people don't really talk about. Yeah. And as parents, the one thing we definitely need to teach our children is finances. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
Like
because it's not getting taught for a reason.
My son is 8 years old.
Yeah.
My son is 8 years old. I give him $10 a week, right? But he has to. No, listen. He has to make his bed. He has to do his football workouts.
Yeah.
He has to do his football workouts and do all of that stuff. No complaints, no being late to school, none of that. you get $10.
Yeah.
You could buy Beyblades, you could buy V-Bucks, you could do whatever the hell you want with this money. So he comes, he goes, I want these shoes. I'm like, bro, we better get to it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy it for you.
How much?
I'm not gonna buy it.
And are you saving it?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
because I gave you 10 don't mean you gotta spend this 10.
Exactly. So
And a little tip is credit history. That's one thing we don't realize. Parents, if you got a kid, you already gotta buy them clothes already as it is. Go get them a Belks card that you're gonna basically spend the cash with. Put it in their name, and by the time, and think about it, if you're in high school, you get them a Belks card at 16. They get out of college 22. When they get out of college, they got 6 years of credit history. Established credit history.
Even a cell phone bill.
Yeah. So even if some type of thing in
there.
there. Yeah.
Don't have the means. I mean, that's easy to
What
say.
you mean?
But when you're raising 5 kids, I mean, for single parents, yes. I mean, if you have a whole household with 2 kids, yes. But like, there are a lot of single parents out there who don't really have. The
I'm a
means.
single parent.
But most parents are at least buying clothes.
Exactly.
All right,
He's
they're
saying
doing
Well,
those.
but you
different
gotta understand that
things.
some families also do hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what I
true.
mean?
but
Like,
they bought initially though.
But
that's what he's
the thing-
saying.
But that's the thing, like, if that's your situation, then that lets you know you need to get your shit
you
in
did
order.
something wrong.
Yeah,
Right,
you need to
right,
get
right,
like
right.
start with getting
Yeah.
you in order. Like that might not be what you can do for your kids, but when they're getting adults, you can still relay that information. It's like, yo, I wasn't able to do this for y'all. Like I saw this post the other day. It said, stop getting your kids what you didn't have and teach them what you didn't know.
I reshared that
You
shit
know
because
what I
I
mean?
felt that so bad. I felt
Yeah.
that shit so much.
I
'Cause
was
it's
like,
like,
and I was like, yeah, I was like, man, because that's all we want nowadays. Now that we all we want is knowledge. That's all I need from you is the knowledge, yo.
yep, because like I said, most of us come from a generation. I know he came from Philly. A lot of my friends came from New York. You came from Memphis. So it's like our parents' job, they just felt they needed to get us to safety.
Yeah,
Don't get arrested. Don't get killed.
yeah,
So now we need to carry that torch because we're not dead.
Yeah.
We're still going to make our kids, you know what I'm saying, understand finances and be free.
yeah.
And they can teach their kids a better lifestyle. It's all about evolution. You shouldn't teach, you know what I'm saying, your fucked up mentality to
Yeah, keep
the next
spreading it
generation.
because that's generational, like generational
Destruction.
wealth. Yeah, exactly. Generational destruction.
It
Yeah,
is,
over
though.
and over.
Yo,
It keeps the
it is,
cycle
though.
going.
Ball's
And that's
about
what-
to make our titles. from
And
now
that's
on.
what we said. Like, we trying to break the cycle. Like, that's the whole point of this podcast. We got all different perspectives. Like, we invite people every week to come on and share their perspectives. Like, we're not just giving you what we think. Like, we're literally opening up. We're being transparent about what we've experienced. We're not afraid to tell you about the hardships that we're going through. So hopefully it saves somebody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Because I had a conversation with my mom. I told her the best thing she ever did for me was move out of Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, so she didn't have the knowledge, the financial knowledge. She didn't have the money for the great jobs, and she didn't have the college education and all of that stuff that I hope to pass on to my daughter. She didn't have those things. But what she did do for me was move me
Into a
out of an
situation,
environment
yeah.
and out of a situation that could have continued that bad cycle. So she put me in a better situation where I could learn, where I could grow, where I could do better for myself. So now I'm in a much better position than she was at 28.
Yeah.
So my daughter's gonna be lit.
See, and that's what I said.
So-
I said, even if my kids don't get it, my grandkids are gonna be good. Like, you know what I mean? Even if my kids don't live that life that I'm dreaming of, like my grandkids or their great grands, somebody in this generation, in this bloodline is gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get
It's gonna
it.
be
Yeah,
your kids.
yeah.
It's gonna be mine.
Yeah.
Your kids is gonna be my God. So it's
Fact.
gonna be your kids.
Yeah, facts.
That's a fact.
I ask you this, fellas. What's more important? Saving for your retirement or saving for your kids' college fund?
Neither. I think it's investing. All of that shit you saving for a college, and we already talked about what we feel about college. You know what I'm saying? And retirement, he was talking about if you love what you do, retirement isn't even a thing. So I feel like you should definitely, money sitting in the bank isn't really doing anything.
Yeah.
And that's what these millionaires don't share.
Wait.
No, listen. Listen,
Hold
let
on,
me
before
finish.
you get too deep, because you're going off on a loop. Saving for your retirement doesn't necessarily mean just putting money in the bank. That's
I'm
IRAs.
talking about IRAs,
is
401ks. Those
So,
interest rates
no,
are way
so
low.
What's more important? Saving for your child's future
I'm saying neither because I would
or
invest
saving
it.
for you? But you can do either one. And you can invest for your child.
I get it,
future,
yeah.
Or you can invest for yourself.
Yeah.
Which one is more important?
The child,
yourself
definitely.
Or your child?
The child, definitely.
Well,
I'd say it's
I feel like they both kind of work the same way. You know what I mean? Because my retirement money was gonna go to my kids. Like,
Right.
you
And
know
then
what I mean?
also education, it's like
It's important to
kids,
save, period.
That privilege Like, because what I realized for being in school for the last 5 years is like, this is a privilege. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't be, like you said, with your mom and like what my parents have sacrificed, like I wouldn't have that. If my parents were like selfish, like I wouldn't have this privilege. You know what I mean? But they sacrificed a lot for me to be in the position I am today. And I think that having that privilege to find yourself instead of like going to a workplace every day and like trying to maintain the bare necessities, because if your kids don't get that opportunity, it's like you don't really get a chance to delve deeper into knowledge. So you're just stuck here in this rut of like 9 to 5, and it's just a perpetual cycle. You know,
and what's crazy is you had a rough road.
So
too.
answer that.
Yeah.
Answer that.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
so I give you guys the transgression, I would say. Now we're blessed that our parents are still in good health, right? Now let's say God forbid
You don't make to retirement.
No, it's not even retirement. Even when you get to retirement, there's still the fact like a terminal illness,
a disease or something, yeah, misfortune.
That is instantly costs way more than any college education at any point, and then burial costs. So it's truthfully you do your kids a better service by preparing for that than preparing them for college or their future, because it instantly costs at least $10,000 to $20,000 to deal with stuff like that.
But see, that's not. I wouldn't consider that saving for retirement. Like I have life insurance to cover all that. You know what I mean?
Do you know how life insurance works?
It's like an investment.
After everything. That comes after everything.
Yeah, but okay, the whole retirement thing. Have you guys really looked into how that works?
You got to make it to 65.
Do you know when you pull out prematurely, all of that shit goes away.
Tax.
Yeah, so it's like
Not all of it though.
no, I'm saying if you pull out,
it's tax heavy though.
if you pull it out early, it's fucking like it disintegrates. You know what I'm saying?
it's
So
tax
what I'm
heavy.
saying is that whole system that we're taught is bad. Like you don't need a 401k or all of that stuff because those percentage rates are so low compared to if you were to invest in something else.
But let me
Apple and all of that stuff.
Let me play devil's advocate for that real quick, because I talk to a lot of my new hires about investing in the 401k. Yeah, you're talking about the interest rate, but what about the fact that my company matches 6%?
It does match 6%.
My company matches 6%. So if I put in 6% of my salary, my company is just going to throw in that additional 6% to match
so
what I
it's
put in.
12%.
So how is that a waste, or how is that not beneficial
For someone who's
me
not
later on, for me later
investment savvy, who doesn't have the time to
That's an
sit
investment. So if I put in $150 into this account, my company, for me just showing up,
It's matching that.
it's putting in $150
But like,
into
what
the
if you
account
only
as well.
stay 10 years though? What if you leave?
What if you stay
You can-
3 years?
You get
You
that.
can-
No,
After
it's actually
3 years.
transfers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
transfer.
transfer.
After 3 years, you're fully vested.
Because-
So every dollar that they put in, that you get to take with you, no matter how long you stay after that. So that's extremely beneficial.
Yeah, because
in a
my
lot
old
of
company,
cases.
my old company did that.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a matter of should I invest in my kid's future or should I invest in retirement. I should have
It's one and the
both.
same.
I should have investments in all that.
It
Yeah,
should be spread out.
yeah. I should have my
diversify your
retirement,
investments, basically.
my kids, like my own personal bank account,
Facts.
like life insurance. You want to get life insurance on your kids,
I
like
want
all
it
that
all.
stuff.
I'm
Because that's where most people lose out. Like you said,
Putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, well, like how many people, like especially like where we from, how many times do you see where they can't afford the funeral?
Absolutely.
That's what he's
know,
talking about.
You can't afford the
the
funeral.
hospital, like
Hospital
cancer.
bill, yeah.
It's a
Do you know how much comes with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When my dad
Yeah.
went through that, like we had to go through a lot, but thank God, like you know what I'm saying, he was able to still he had that hustler's mentality, so he was able to still hustle and make things
You know what's
work.
the wildest thing my mom taught me? She said, all right, because you know when we're young, we're in high school and shit, we basically open up a account, right?
Yeah.
She said, you need to open up 3 accounts. And I was like, why? She said, 1 account is just for your bills. You put the money in it, it automatically comes out. So that's taken care of. You got a savings, and then you got a play fund.
Personal thing.
You know what I'm saying? And then you only work with the play fund. Everything else is delegated every other
Already
other
spent.
day.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you never look into these other 2 accounts because you already know what's being done.
Yeah.
And you already know your savings is invisible. You never touch that. And then this account right here is what you know. All right, I got $100 for whatever.
You pay
I
yourself.
want.
Yeah,
exactly.
You pay yourself. But
I think the way they do that too is to make your savings account in a different banking institution
that you can't touch.
One that you can't touch.
Yeah.
Like go open up a bank account
because you won't even see.
That you don't have a card to.
Yeah.
That you don't
have the online.
Yeah. And preferably
don't have the online set up.
Preferably like if you can get one, because I had one set up in Greensboro, like a credit union, but it was a small one. That when I moved to Raleigh, it was still like the only way I can get money is if I drove to Greensboro to get that money out. So you know what I'm saying? That money continued to stack and continue to build until I moved it later on and get married and things like that. But it worked because I had my direct deposit going straight to that banking institution that I didn't have a card to. I couldn't go online. I couldn't do no online shopping with it. Like it was there. If I wanted money out, I had to drive to Greensboro to get that money out.
I got merchants and farmers like that. Like I don't have a bank card. I don't have an online. They don't send me a statement. None of that.
I'm gonna go off topic because I think this would be good. Because of the title, Get Your Hands Out of My Pocket, and then what you just said about having the multiple accounts. How do y'all feel? I know nobody else other than myself is married. Okay. Because I had this conversation with a married gentleman yesterday at work. If you decided to get married, would you and your wife have 2 separate accounts, or would you have one account?
3. Joint account, 2 separate accounts.
Why?
Why? Because I have with my wants, she has her wants, and then we have what we have together.
Yeah, and I've seen that too often. Like, I know married couples, and like my dad, for example. Like my stepmom straight controls all the finances. My dad was like, let me see what's going on this card. I'm like, Dad, you bust your ass, G. Like, there's no reason why you should have to check nothing. Like, you are good. You know, he was like, oh, well, she said that she moved XYZ around. I gotta have, like, I mean, if she's really good with the finances, then I trust it. It's one thing you don't have to worry about, but also, like, I like things. You know what I mean?
So should you marry somebody you're not sure if they're good with finances?
What if you're good with finances?
But so you still would marry someone that's not good with finances just because you are?
I don't know, man.
I mean, it depends on what they're spending money on. You know what I mean? If you're going out spending $200-$300 on makeup every month, I mean, we got some problems. We gotta have some reform.
But if she got her own account, you don't really know what she's.
But that's her account. That's what I'm saying. That's her account. You have your allotted money. You do what you want with it. When you go to zero, don't come to me and ask me for my account.
But y'all got the joint account.
The joint account is for basically all of our stuff.
That's
together.
Necessities.
You know what I'm saying? But bills, like I said, we got 3 accounts.
The insurance, the car. That's gonna make sure everything
But what's stopping her from going to the joint account? If she needed, if she's bad,
that's a conversation we should have.
But the thing is, if she's bad with finances, she
gonna
blow hers.
Through her own.
She gonna blow hers regardless.
To the extent of how bad the finances.
Yeah.
So then when she blows through her own, if you got money, you're not gonna give her?
No, hell no.
That's confusing to me.
It's not confusing. It's like, first off, it's a conversation between 2 adults.
It is.
You know how the situation goes. Okay. Just like my mom. My mom and Marvin. You know what I'm saying? Marvin has a business account. Yeah. And then he has his account. Yeah. And then he has her account.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? She's a photographer. She deals with all of the stuff with the kids and stuff like that. In the household, I like food shopping, blah, blah, blah. He does his motorcycle stuff and all of that shit. It don't have to cross. If she ever needs money and he's like, he'll be like, here, take that. But when she blows through her money, she has to wait until next time payroll comes around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how you keep. If somebody,
if you want more, maybe you gotta go get it.
And if somebody's bad with finances, it's like if somebody's a drug addict, you don't just keep giving them drugs. You know what I'm saying? You give them a budget.
Yeah, but
boom.
The thing is, she got access to it, so you don't have to give her nothing.
But she don't have access to it. Everything is diversified.
You can see it.
No, you can't.
She has access to a joint account.
Because like I would have my card. She can't spend the card in my account. She can't spend the money in my account.
No, she can touch the joint account though.
The
she can go to the bank and just pull it.
But it's a joint account, so that means we'll all be looking at it. I'll be looking at it. She'll be looking at it.
No, but it's like, here's the thing. It's like the joint account should be like.
What type of girls y'all talking about?
Right. Like your account.
We talking about the worst case scenario.
I feel you. She's fine. I'm saying you said.
I hope you wouldn't have married her.
I'm saying if she's bad with finances, that don't mean she's a dickhead person.
I think
you know
so.
Like,
I and correct me, Mo. I think the whole point of like the topic is accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna leave with that. I'm glad you said that because my point with that, we're having 2 separate accounts. neither one of you are holding each other accountable. So it is. I worked hard, so this is my money. You worked hard, so this is your money technically. But y'all are married, y'all in one household.
But even if it's one budget,
let me finish. Y'all got the same bills. Y'all got the same goals. I would hope and assume you got the same child. You know what I mean? So that's all together. But by you having two separate accounts and you basically allowing her to blow it or do whatever she want to do because that's her money. That's if neither one of you are holding each other accountable with your spending habits. So you could be wilding doing all kind of well, it may not be wilding to you, but you could be wilding doing all kind of stuff, blowing money on all kind of stupid stuff that could be building more in your savings and more into the investments and more into this. She could be because she got her own account, blowing it on all kind of silly, unnecessary things because it's her money, and neither one of you guys are holding each other accountable. Where you could be getting to whatever goal you have much faster if you had one account and you held each other accountable. And you were able to kind of see where your partner was lacking on some of the unnecessary spending and maybe unnecessary purchases that you guys were making and holding each other accountable and being able to conversate about.
I think you can still hold somebody accountable with two separate accounts.
Just because it's
just like, look, it's just like a communication thing. Like you do it, compare and contrast. It's like, what are you doing?
If you're gonna do the communication, if you're gonna communicate like that, then why have two separate accounts? If you're gonna communicate about what she has in her account,
because you have your hobbies, I have mine.
Yeah, right.
Like that's what I'm saying.
Like marriage, like the misconception of marriage is like we are this holy matrimony.
Like we're one.
And you're still separate people. Like, you don't, and that's what I think, like, I'm nowhere near being married, right now. With that being said, with that being said, I just feel like when that time does come, it's just like, I'm still an individual. I don't know how it is for married people, but from what I've observed, it's like, oh, we are one. Like, we are this one thing. You are one couple, but at the end of the day, like, in reality, you are you, and she is she, and or he and he, and whatever.
Okay, so look, you got two different accounts, right?
Yeah.
So how do you decide how much each person gets? If she makes double what you make, that means she get more money than you.
That comes with
spend.
a budget.
Did she tell you don't get 300 in your account like me because you know what I mean?
I get 300.
Yeah.
But all right, you're saying this is what I'm saying.
You're
You're saying that just because you have two accounts don't mean you can't both come together and make a budget.
Right.
You could just be like, boom, we have $200 play money here, and you have $200 play money. Everything else goes into savings and goes into the joint account.
Yeah.
But once you blow through your $200, there's no more Jordans for the guys, and there's no more fucking makeup for the girls. Like just because you guys have your own different passions, don't mean you guys aren't talking.
But my question is, my question is that same $200, why can't it be $400 in one account?
It can be.
Still spend your $200.
It can be. But I'm saying that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
Like, if I want to do something with the homies, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to go out of town, but I don't want to jeopardize what we have in savings. So it's like,
because
you can still have your own separate goals.
That's where budget comes into play. Like, just because, I mean, it would have been in one account. That don't mean you still gonna blow through the money. You still gonna pay your bills and do all those things first to keep the household running, and then the extra cash is still there. It's just not in two separate accounts.
In a perfect world, why can't it be one joint and all? That's the pot. That's the pot. Y'all together, y'all make $150. That's the cake. That's the pot. But out of this $150K a year, y'all say we're gonna take 30 out of this, and that's what we got for the year to do whatever we please. You get 15, I get 15. No matter whether I make 70 a year and you make 80 a year, we got 15 apiece to work with.
That's accountability, though.
But that's the same thing I'm saying. But just because you have two separate things don't mean like she's gonna be an asshole and never talk to you.
Keep in mind, I never said which one was
I know.
wrong.
It's dialogue. It's just dialogue. But I'm saying like I feel like there's no set way to do it.
Yeah. It's not whether it works for you. Yeah. But I like to play that. And the reason I brought it up because I had a conversation with one of the guys in my job because me and my wife personally we have one account.
One account, yeah.
That works for us. Mm-hmm. It helps keep both of us accountable. Like spending habits or things that I will go blow money on or spend money on because I know that she has access to that. It makes me think twice. So it's not that I feel controlled or I feel like I gotta check her. It just makes me conscious of some of the decisions that I make with money because I know she peeps it. Same thing with her. My wife grew up rather privileged. Like she grew up. I mean, her mom, her dad makes great money. So money to her meant a little different than money does to me. If she had her own account, she might have got a little reckless in that account.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it helped her become a little more accountable to kind of value the dollar a little bit more because she understood. I can see what's going on, but now because I trust her so much and we built that bond, and
you don't need to check behind her.
I don't check like she controls the account. I have no idea what's in. In any given time, I cannot tell you what's in our account. She controls it because I know that she's accountable now. She understands the value of a dollar now because we built that from the foundation from the time we got married. Yeah, it was some difficult times in initially, but now it works beautifully for us.
And that's amazing. But what's the difference between having two accounts? You can still teach her the same values and all of that stuff. I'm just saying
it's hard because I
just
can't see it. She got her own separate account. I can't see that. Yeah, she could like you know what I'm saying. I can't see that.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I can't see that. So she can go spend $200 and I may not know for 3 weeks on $200 on something ridiculous that she had known this, and I would know for maybe a month later. You know what I'm saying? So that accountability will take a little longer.
There's a key factor in both situations that I think we're overlooking, and that's the structure. Like the fact is, what I feel like the one thing that we kind of fear away from is structure. Like make a budget. Like,
sure.
You know what I mean? And the way I set my budget up, 10% goes to my tithes, 20% goes to me, and I live off the rest. So if I can't live off that 70, then that means I need to dial back. You know what I mean? And dial back on something. But that just works for me. Like you said, you gotta talk, you gotta have those conversations, hold each other accountable, say like, yo, this is our budget, we're gonna stick to this. Make sure both of you know, like, you can have your play money, but we're not pulling from nothing else. If you decide, like, you spend all your money and you ain't got lunch money, you better get some coffee until you get home or something.
And then my issue, too, with the, like, okay, for this week until whatever week, you got 200, I got 200.
Yeah.
Because I have $200 of play money until next week, I'm blowing $200.
Yeah.
Like, whether I need it or not, if you tell me I got $200 to next week, you got $200 to we both are going to blow that $200.
That means
by
you're
the time
financially irresponsible.
No, that's not financially irresponsible. If we put aside $20 of play money, we put the budget together, put aside $20 of play money until we get paid again. That's not irresponsible. That's very responsible. We put the budget together, all bills are paid. This is play money, but because it's considered play money, we got our own separate accounts. I'm gonna get wild with that. Like, because if it's 2 days before I get paid again, I still got $100.
We got it out.
So that's the part of accountability. That's the part of accountability that I'm talking about too. Because with one account, instead of considering it play money and it's just extra money, a lot of times what it could have been a $200 of play money, I won't spend because I don't need to, and I didn't need anything. So now that $200 rolls over. Now
exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
It's $600. But I'm saying that, but when you dedicate play money and say this is your $200 in your account, this is your $200 in your account, I'm going to lunch every day. I'm buying a couple shirts because it's there to so-called play.
And the thing is, don't roll it over. Don't even think about it as rollover.
But if it's play money,
play responsible.
If it's play money, what responsibility do I have about playing?
You don't gotta play every week, my G.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like a cell phone.
But that's the thing.
Just because they give you
but don't roll it over though. Don't roll it over. Like don't roll it over because the thing is, you're looking at it now. You're like, okay, I didn't spend my $2. Now I got $4. No, you didn't. You didn't. You still got $2. Like each week you get $2.
And throw that to savings.
If you don't use it, just save it. Yeah. Don't think about it as, I got $600 now. Like I've been waiting up. Like no, you got $2. Like,
all right,
and that's the structure of a budget. Like that's what keeps you accountable. Like just because I ain't used it in 3 checks don't mean I got $600. Like no, I got $200.
Like everybody does it. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm a guy. Like
that's if you have goals.
I don't have
that's
a
if
job.
You have
I
debt.
have goals.
Yeah, that's if you have debt and stuff like.
I don't have a job. I'm a student. I like to take risks. Okay. So let me tell you, this past week, like I take big risks. You know what I mean? I kind of emptied out my account for the Travis Scott OG1s, and that was a big risk. You know what I mean? So I was just like, shit. But I can make 4 bands off of this 1,500. I'm about to just impromptu drop because I found it. You know what I mean? And one of them, I got scammed on 600. I got scammed. You know, that's when the risk turned into I had to do damage control. You know, I spent 30 minutes on the phone with eBay this morning. Like, look, I think I have been bamboozled.
I've been hoodwinked.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason why you're so able to make those risks is because you haven't worked for it. No.
I work.
No.
Oh, my God.
You just said I ain't got no job.
I ain't got no job, Tommy.
So you didn't work.
Look, I am a student first. That's my
That's not no goddamn job.
I'm an entrepreneur.
If you were him, and you woke up every day and you worked your 40, 50, 60 hours, you're not gonna just blow 600.
No, you're not.
I'm telling you.
That thing.
If you got it,
That's not a risk you're willing to take. Cause that rent is gonna come.
Oh yeah,
the rent coming regardless.
Mortgage.
Like today,
you're right.
Like today, it was storming outside.
Right now I'm rent, but I'll be mortgaged.
Yeah, like today it was storming outside. I was outside pouring concrete, mixing concrete and shit in the rain. So when it comes to like buying $200 pair of drum, I'm like, fuck that. That's like 2 days away. I'm good. Fuck that.
You feel like Julius. You see the drum where they had Julius from Everybody Hate Chris. If I had a picture of this nigga in my wallet, I'd be the richest man in the world. Oh, my wallet, see Julius. Oh, that's 67 cents worth of light right there.
Because you gotta look at it, it's like when you think about buying stuff, and I wish I probably would have, got onto this a lot earlier, like growing up. You gotta look at, if you're gonna buy something, look at how is this gonna help me. Like, look at things as investments. Like, is this gonna make me better? Is this gonna help me get?
Boy, is this gonna look good on me? Let me have that. Anybody think about that?
You gotta treat yourself sometimes. You gotta treat yourself sometimes.
In my defense, the shoes that I bought were not for myself. I promise
you
you.
can't do it uncontrollably because then it just becomes. Now you go from buying one pair of sneakers, you buy a pair of sneakers every couple weeks.
Well, the thing is, you can also obsess, especially like in situations where you've come up without money. Like, and y'all know, like, I've obsessed over making sure I have some money to the point where my friends are like, bruh, treat yourself to something. Like, live a little bit. Like, because I get to the point where I'm like, I don't ever want to be broke. I don't ever want to be broke again. Because I've been broke. You know what I mean? But it's like, so when you've come up and you're like trying to build that level of like, all right, I got some money. It's like you get obsessed with it. It's like, yo, I really don't want to see nothing come out of my account. But you got to treat yourself every now and then and just, like you said, is this gonna look good on me or not? Like that's what your mindset kind of switches over to.
The shoes that I bought were not for me; they were for resale purpose.
Yeah, that's a business expense.
Yeah.
We can word that the right way.
That's an investment, though. Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah. So I said you may look at things that sometimes invest to make you more money. Like, how can I do something that's gonna
how can I turn this
in a long run? But at the same time, it's part of the process, but it's part of the life. But you also, like you said, you want to make sure you reward yourself for doing good things. Like, oh man, I've been grinding real hard. You know what I'm saying? I need to, let me do
every now and then.
That's also sometimes for a lot of people that turns into a slippery slope. I mean, that's very
it turns to gambling.
With a diet. You know, like I've been meeting with a nutritionist. And she's like, cheat days are just a setup. Like, it's a setup.
It's a trap.
And it's like treating yourself. It's like, these shoes are good. Let me check these pants out.
Yeah, let me get that jacket.
Let me get that sweater.
Oh wait, I can't not get the fitted.
Turn onto a whole outfit.
And before you know it, you back at square one.
I'm that person. I'm that person. I'm like 100% one way or the other.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, or you wild.
Exactly. Like either I'm off the chain.
I'm either sober or I'm
dead. It's like either I'm 100% angel. You know what I'm saying? Like with the whole diet thing. If I'm working out, I'll diet perfectly.
Yeah.
But the moment I skip the gyms, I'm like, fuck it, Wendy, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my personality.
Right now.
From your birthday, right? It's done.
Last week this nigga said, hey, next week it's gonna be good.
This how you know it's real. Look, this how you know it's real. I was in the gym the other day. They was like, where's Ship at?
But in my defense, it's because my wife got a new job and I scheduled up
nevertheless, don't get it twisted. We are brothers keep. He'll be in the gym this week.
Yeah.
We are brothers keep.
He been talking about it all week, so he gonna be in there Monday.
Hey, but in my defense, I got, and not to try to flex, but I do have a 2-story crib. So I did. It wasn't. I do.
Humble brag. I like it.
It's 2,000 square feet, 4-bedroom. But that's neither here nor there.
Humble brag.
We work for that.
But I did run up and down my stairs for 30 minutes.
That boy had to sweat.
With weights.
Like, improvising.
30 minutes.
You know what I mean?
That boy had to sweat.
Hammer some nails in the steps to reinforce them out.
I'm gonna tell you about running. What is up with your boy Tristan? Let's talk about running for a second.
I already told y'all.
Or hiding, or ducking. He just out here wild.
I told you, I'm Team Jordan. That ain't her fault. She was single.
Running, bro.
She was
single.
single.
Do what you do.
She was.
You do what you want when you pop it.
But the thing is, your roommate's sister, man, like, come on. It's like, how did that even happen?
No,
like,
come on, your roommate's sister's not your friend.
But they've been like best friends.
She said they were like she said her home out. Family.
Yeah,
they've been best friends like
she
forever.
always got that one family member you don't fuck with.
I'm gonna come clean.
Am I right?
I'm gonna come clean though until like I said I didn't watch it myself, but I have a wife, so she watched it. The Red Table thing dropped today with Jordan. She was talking to Jada Pinkett. I didn't watch it, but my wife told me about it. So I was against Jordan until I heard about her testimony and how she kind of spoke about it. So she was like, she went to the party at Tristan's crib because she considered them family.
Okay.
She was smacked when she got there.
Okay.
Trash.
Okay.
She was like, the LA lifestyle, you get smacked. You go to a house party at a club, smacked. You don't leave. not even. Yeah. You don't leave till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That's regular. Like, that's not a crazy thing. They don't leave 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. That's normal. She said he's sitting in a chair. She walked over. She sit because they family, they cool, they close. She said she sat on the arm of the chair. So the reports of her sitting in his lap, she said, are not true. She's sitting on the arm of the chair, he's sitting in the chair. They chit-chatting, it's all love, it's kicking it, whatever. They sloppy, they drunk, they laughing, leaning over, kicking it. It is what it is. So she crashed there. She said it wasn't just her, it was her and multiple people. Crashed there, they got up, left that morning. She said they didn't sleep in the same room, they didn't smash. This is what she said. They didn't sleep in the same room. They didn't smash. None of that. No kissing or nothing. Let me finish. Yeah. Let me finish. She said she called a car service. She left to go to her car service. He walked her to her car and he kissed her as she was getting into her car service.
On the cheek?
No, on her mouth.
Oh,
on her mouth.
On her mouth. To be clear. So but what I respect out of it from what my wife told me, what I respect out of it, what my wife respected out of it is that she never blamed the Kardashians. She never blamed Kim, Khloe, nobody. She said she kept taking ownership for it. I shouldn't have went. I should have put myself in a situation. I should have been sloppy drunk like that without the girls. Let me finish. without them being there, I shouldn't even been around him. Put myself in a situation without the girls being there. So I completely blame myself for that. And she also said that she should have been upfront and told Khloe that as soon as it happened that he leaned over, he kissed me. Like she said, I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I should have been upfront and told her immediately.
She kissed back.
That she didn't say that part. But. Based on that, and based on like other people are coming down now saying that like Tristan be wilding at these parties, like he don't give a fuck, like he be out.
I mean that's a known thing.
And he home.
So and the girl is even volunteering to take a lot of tests. She was like, yo, she said they got all this money, like they not responding. But she was like, yo, I'll take a lot of tests. This is exactly what happened. Like I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't expected. She said I will take ownership in going without them being there, being around him, without them being there. And me crashing there, but she was like, that's regular, that's normal. He like family to me. She's like, I would take a lot of tests. Like, I didn't do it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But the media is bodying her though. They get
what
her
I said
out
before
here.
the episode, I'm Team Jordan. I
they
bought some Jordan today for her.
Out of here, bro. They get her out of here.
Because I mean, he's been wilding for a minute.
Yeah, but
he was wilding.
And at the same time, though, like I forgot who one of y'all said, like, whose responsibility is it really?
Yeah, like, she's single. He's the one that's in a relationship.
Yeah.
And he the one who kissed her. Like,
and he the one that's trying to get back. Apparently, like,
and he was just tonguing and roping 2 broads in a
club.
That's what I'm saying. He home. He probably like he probably mad it with her because he probably on some real probably with other chicks that ain't said nothing.
You know what I feel though? I feel like he don't really like love her. Exactly. But he just trying to get that Kardashian stamp.
I think he's scared to like fully get invested in the Kardashians because you see what happens to the people that fully get invested.
Don't he have a baby with her?
Yeah, that's invested. No, but I meant fully invested like
marriage and
all that because like being on the show and all that stuff, it like something happens to people when they do that.
But you start seeing that boy start dressing after he start dating her?
Who? Tristan?
I don't be seeing all that. Cause Fire Stick don't have no commercials, dog.
He started bucking,
that's intentional
like,
TV.
It changed a nigga for sure. He started wilding. Like, it's just like before the pregame when he would come through the tunnel, where pants got tighter and tighter, boy started wearing cowboy boots and big old furs. Like he started wilding. He started changing. Like that lifestyle can grab hold of you.
See, he still needed a little bit of control. He still needed a little bit of control.
Change though, cause he kind of like.
Nah, that was Bron leaving. That was Bron leaving. The ball coming a little different when Bron ain't passing.
That man out here trying to set back.
Bron make all-stars out here. Yeah, Bron make all-stars out here. He's just trying to level up. In one way.
Everybody trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But
speaking of getting somewhere.
There you go.
Speaking of getting somewhere, you know, trying to get out of prison now. What you think about Michael Cohen?
So
he's trying to get out of Michael Jackson. He dead.
Yeah. We were talking about him before the podcast.
If Michael Jackson get out of something,
That was a bad joke. Right?
I'm running. I don't know if people watch this.
I watched the whole fucking.
So I didn't get to see the whole thing.
I saw the whole thing.
All I saw was the part where he was like, I was loyal to a person.
For y'all who don't know, Michael Cohen is
yeah.
Donald Trump's former attorney and retainer, even before the campaign. And he had a testimony on Thursday, pretty much spilling the beans on the bigoted person that Donald Trump is, and you know he released a lot of information,
receipts too,
receipts,
checks.
Paperwork, yeah, exactly. So,
emails.
That's who Michael Cohen is, and he's already before his testimony, he's already like been on trial, and he's doing 3 years in federal prison starting in May, and basically he's just like, I want to come clean. Because he's going to jail for 3 years, or prison for 3 years, for perjury, because he lied to the courts on Trump's behalf, and he was just trying to come clear his name in the whole thing. So he just spilled all the beans. No client, attorney privileges, all that out the window. Here it is, raw and uncut. Donald Trump, here's who he is.
And he, like he said, he provided the checks, like all signatures, all everything. He provided emails, voicemails. He provided all of that shit. So it's like, him and Donald Trump had client attorney privileges, but it's like once he's going to prison for this shit. Fuck it, fuck it.
I mean, he can speak on it.
Yeah,
he could have spoke on it before he went to jail. However, when they go to court, it's probably gonna be a cakewalk because. Yeah, they know this stuff, but it's inadmissible because Cohen was his lawyer.
But the whole thing is he's basically trying to say
this is the guy. At a different angle.
No, he's saying this is the guy that you guys are going behind. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy that you're
still supporting.
Exactly.
Yeah, they were still up there trying to defend him.
I deeply regret I just gave up my morals and my values to follow this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he was talking about
now. It's too late now. Right.
He was going back talking about the hush money. He was talking about how Donald Trump knew
illegitimate children.
How Donald Trump was basically building. He was building a fucking building in Russia, right? He was building a building in Russia. It was supposed to be the biggest building
Moscow
over there, and then so he wanted to keep relations good. So when he saw all of that email stuff, he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah,
he was like, "Cool, get that shit through." You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna help my campaign.
Yeah.
So it was basically all of this stuff that he's doing is kind of. Is rigging the game a little bit.
Yeah, but as an attorney, put yourself in Michael Cohen's shoes. You got one of the most wealthiest real estate people. I'm your attorney. Usually attorneys are going to defend you. I mean, that's what they're there for. If you're on trial for murder,
for sure.
your attorney is there to get you out of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's
what he was saying has happened. What he's saying has happened is all right. Say this whole thing. Say you're a lawyer, right? And we blow up. We become super fucking famous. And our following is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I turn on, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm about to run for president. Just fucking around.
Yeah.
And he all right, cool, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's a joke.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying happened. It was we're going to do this because it's a business, it's promotion. So he's running for president. He didn't think he was going to win.
No intention.
You know what I'm saying? It would help his brand go crazy.
Yeah.
And so what happened was he fucking won this one. He won this one.
Yeah.
And now, shit. I'm fighting. Yeah. So it's I'm fighting for this shit. And he's like, oh, shit. This shit's really happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At first, it was just a little game to increase all of our pockets.
You didn't think all this stuff that was happening, you would have to, end up hiding. Okay.
So it's it was basically, I'm hiding these secrets basically to get money.
Yeah.
Now this motherfucker's ruling the country hold on.
Basically, they swept everything from under the rug over the last 13 years as a client and attorney. And Michael Cohen just... Everybody, world, look at what's under here.
But this is my thing. So this is my thing. So even after he comes out and says all this stuff, like pretty much stuff that we already knew, and he confirms it, why is this guy still the president?
Right, and that's
we haven't found nothing to indict him on.
But it's so much.
What do you mean?
Much. I mean,
he literally just had a full testimony full of impeachment-worthy stuff.
Yeah,
he showed you.
It's a process. You gotta trust it.
Man, Bill Clinton got some head and they was ready to impeach him overnight. It ain't that much of a process.
Facts,
it's not that much of a process, bro.
Did it happen?
But you know,
he resigned.
But you had to resign because you know you can be impeached and still you can still sit in the White House.
Exactly.
Like that don't mean you have to leave.
For real?
That's why
you can be impeached.
I thought you had to pack up.
No, you can be impeached and still sit and finish. Like he resigned because there was too much heat behind it, but you can still finish. Like impeachment,
but can you shut down the government
for all this impeachment doesn't do much.
But he can't shut down the government.
It's certain things. It limits his access, but he's still the president. He doesn't have to take
this motherfucker's wilding, bro.
I thought it was.
And then do you let's be 100. Let's keep it 100. If we impeach him, do you know who's next?
Pence.
The real one.
Now Pence is cool.
No, he's not.
He's cooler than Trump.
No, he's
not.
Look at his platform. Look at his platforms.
He's the real one.
Look at his platforms, bro. Check his platforms out versus Trump's platform.
Look at his family history, though.
Check his
history. He's a known KKK member.
So is Trump.
No, Trump isn't actually. He's not, but Pence is like affiliated with that shit.
Check your man's out, B.
Yeah, Pence is worse than Trump.
Look, the thing is, we got a president who's being backed by racist people. So either way, we're gonna have, like, you know what I mean. Either way, we need to just really get to the at least Pence has political knowledge. You know what I mean. Trump is just fucking winging it at this point. You tell me that you go over to you go to Vietnam, and you tell me that the plan that you had to go to Vietnam for doesn't work out, but then you try to tell us that but it was a friendly conversation.
Right.
Like something wasn't that friendly if things didn't go the way they were planned. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. At least we would have somebody with that's not shutting down the government every other day for a wall.
Okay, but you strongly feel this way about Pence.
I don't have any strong feelings. Only strong feelings I have is that we don't need the president that we currently have. I don't have any strong feelings for any politician. Period.
Facts.
I just know that the president we currently have is not really working.
Well, what's fucked up is on the other side of the aisle, it ain't no better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's why a lot of people didn't vote.
This goes back to what. Also,
can
we just go around
really
with Trump in the office right now? Like, how are you guys personally affected by the politics?
I was personally affected because when I was buying I was.
Okay, cool.
Because when I was purchasing my home, right around the time when he got into office, he took away the first time buyers program.
And you know, during the testimony, they were putting, like, in the housing market, like, C's on the back of.
But let me tell you how crazy it was, though. Like, I was in the middle of about to close on my house, about to go sign the paperwork, and I had to wait until the following for my check to clear because I actually pulled money out of my 401k. And I actually was able to pay myself back without a fee. So it's benefits to 401k. But I was waiting for that money to hit. Over the weekend, that law changed. So it went from me having to put nothing down to putting 3% down on $200,000 home. Damn. So it affected me personally. Okay. So him being there, I want him out of there. Like, he
really did some really messed up things in the housing market, specifically for black people.
For first time home buyers.
But not only like politically personal effects, but like just look at how the world changed. Like the racist culture today is wild. Like, and that affects everybody because it's not even a black-white thing. It's a division thing.
Nah, what's the purpose of politics?
Division.
Agenda.
What's the purpose of politics? What does politics always affect? No matter what law or anything ordeal you pass, what does it affect?
The economy, the people.
People's money.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, no matter what policy passes, it's affecting people's money. That's why it's important. If you want to control politics, you gotta control your money.
You know what's a crazy thing that just passed that nobody's like talking about? Fucking the post. What is it when a girl gives birth?
Postpartum syndrome.
Postpartum, no, abortion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They can kill the baby
That
after
is
it's born.
fucking insane, bro.
That's been passed in a couple places.
So they're saying the baby can be born, and then you can still choose to get rid of it.
You can make a decision in the
That is
hospital
passed,
right
bro.
now. You can make a decision. It's only in a couple places.
And what's happening? No,
kids out here, they gonna pass something like that.
What's
They can't
happening?
have babies?
Listen, what's happening is that these people are taking these babies and selling them on the black market. Woo, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
it's like 500,000. It's like 500,000 for all the organs.
Yeah.
It's like 500,000 for a baby,
a whole baby,
a whole baby.
Yeah.
And then what's even more sick is they're telling the mom that your baby didn't make it, and they're keeping the baby, and then they're putting it in a fucking truck. And they're selling it.
But what I
Bullshit.
will say, and some people not gonna like this. What I will say is, because everybody is pro Obama, I hate Trump. I'm not a fan of Trump. Obama look like me, so I'm rocking with it. But Obama gave more to the abortion industry than any president.
Like, but that's what he was talking about. He was talking about the Democrats not really being for us.
And Trump is taking money away.
See,
so
that's the one good thing. It's not all bad.
It's like, look at the agenda. Yes, pro-choice, pro-rights, but then like that is the illusion, but behind the scenes,
it's the magic.
Stem cell research. They got babies with 30 hands.
I hear you, but at the end of the day, it's still benefiting us as a black community because over 85% of abortion clinics are put in heavily black populated.
There's more black abortions than there's black people alive.
It is.
Yeah.
Like there were more abortions last year than there was black babies born. Like black babies specifically aborted last year than there were born
and
last year. So we're actually headed towards genocide.
It's an agenda. Yes, agenda to kill.
So whatever the action is behind it,
he's trying to stop
it. That's cool. Whatever it is going on, that's fine. But what he's doing in front of it is taking money away from that industry, which is actually helping the black community.
Yeah.
Whether he likes us or not, whatever his agenda is behind it, it is heavily impacting in a positive way the black community because like I said, over 85%. And the reason I know so much about this because my pastor, I know everybody's not in the church, but my pastor speaks on this heavily, like every Sunday. Yeah. Like we have a team out, Drake Circle, the abortion clinic on Drake Circle. We basically shut it down. Like they had the most abortions. They were the heaviest populated abortion clinic in this area before we started going out there every Saturday, protesting, speaking, getting people to kind of keep their kids and like that. Now they're at the bottom of their list. Like we've completely destroyed that facility. So and that's why I know so much about the numbers.
Do you want women out here, like children, like 17, 18, 19, who can't afford to take care of a baby?
Wait, I'm glad you said that because I'm gonna tell you something. It don't cost much to take care of a child.
Oh shit!
Wait. I'm
okay, go ahead.
If you apply yourself, it doesn't take much because people just don't want to sacrifice.
That's what it is.
People want to be able to buy $600 shoes, and then once you started being able to afford them $600 shoes, you're gonna want the $1,200 shoes.
Because
but you're not even sacrificing. What it doesn't take trust.
And this is about to go way left. But do you think your mom could afford you when she had you?
She had to make a way.
She couldn't afford. I know my mom couldn't afford me when she had me. So that's not really a valid excuse. Like it's ways to get around that.
But what about a 17-year-old having a baby though? What about 16-year-olds having a baby?
My mom was 18 when she had me.
18, but 16. I mean, your brain.
17, 18, you know what I'm saying? But my point it being is that it lights a different type of fire under you, and some people are able to go get it. So that whole I can't afford it thing. It's not really a valid excuse. Like I'm sure a lot of us, when our parents had us,
if you don't have the support, that's what's most important. But it takes a village. But
that's also not true though. My mom could not afford me for one. She was not college educated for two, and she did not have a support system. My grandma, thank God she's better now, was on. I'm from Memphis, heavily drug populated area. My grandmother was on drugs. My mom, at 17 years old, was living in an apartment by herself that she can barely afford. When I was born, she was going to school to do hair and to go through the whole thing. She had to get it up. My daycare was this way. Her job was this way. She didn't have a vehicle. She would have to ride the bus to my daycare this way, ride the bus back past her house to go to work, and then do the same thing and come pick me up from her. She couldn't afford me. She didn't have a support system, but she made it work. So that whole ideal of not being able to afford a kid, not being ready for a kid, that's bogus and it's a bullshit excuse.
You're just not ready to be
You're just not ready to bust your ass to make that adjustment and make that change. Yeah. So there's really not, you know what I'm saying, outside of like rape and things of that nature, that's the only excuse you have. You know, and even then, I feel like there's a ways to kind of reverse that and get out of that.
And a lot of times people are doing these things, you know what it takes to make a baby. And you know you don't have no intentions on, I mean, you enjoy the moment, but like
that's the beautiful side of that act.
I mean?
That's what people don't understand.
Right. That's what it's invented for.
Man, and I'm gonna tell you something crazy. I'm so happy to have kids. Like, I had the greatest moment in my life. My daughter looks so much like me. She unlocked my iPhone.
Oh God.
If that ain't a proud moment in dad history, like, that's why I'm like, bro.
That's a moment you text the mom like, ha! She look like her daddy. She look like her daddy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I tell you what, it should just be shifted a little bit. Because I feel like you were saying, it's not an excuse. But 15, 16, 17-year-olds having kids, I feel like that should be the only exception. Because if we talk about R. Kelly can't have sex with a 15-year-old, they should have the choice to not have a baby at 15. Yeah. But once you hit 18, you might have to deal with it. You might have to bite that bullet. You know what I'm saying?
But it's also a process of just educating them and teaching them.
Exactly, just switching.
Yeah, you shouldn't be having sex that early.
You shouldn't be doing it.
But like, I'm saying,
at that point, your mind.
If you teach finances, you will not have to worry about that.
You do know the three things that causes people to not be financially successful: having a baby early, out of wedlock, divorce, and what's the other one? Like having a single parent, because then you're more likely to get incarcerated. All of that shit adds up to like not being financially successful. You know what I mean? So like,
and not to mention if your family's not already
exactly. If a 15-year-old has a baby, and then the father leaves, that family's gonna struggle for 2 generations.
Yeah. And it's another fact too. Like I said, I know a lot about abortion. A lot about the numbers. I think it's 90%. Sorry, Pastor, if I'm not quoting the numbers right. I think it's 90% of all mothers who've aborted children stated that they would have kept the child if the dad had stayed. So
you just don't want to do it alone a lot of times.
So it's a lot. It's so that, and I'm putting the onus back on us as men, black men, white men, China, whatever you are.
Yeah,
men in general, putting the onus back on us. Like, yo, if we would just step up to the plate, a lot of these women would keep these kids. A lot of these kids be in much better situations. A lot of them would prosper, be in a lot better situations. If we just stayed around, like, if we stop having raw sex with these women, if we don't plan on sticking around and being a father, like, everybody want to be a baby daddy, like that.
But that goes back to that. That goes back to what we were talking about last week, like where I've used sex as a tool. You know what I mean? Like where men, a lot of times when they get their feelings hurt, they go do something that makes them feel good, which is a lot of times sex.
Not even thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, not even thinking about it. It's like I'm in this moment and I just had a shitty day and I just need to bust this nut real quick and just clear my mind. Not to realize like, dang, the condom bust. Then 9 months you thinking, dang, that day got worse than I thought. You know, I thought it was a bad day. But man, y'all should hit me with down latex. And I ain't wearing latex.
18 years.
For real, man.
18 years.
And after 18 years, you find out it wasn't him.
You know what's wild, man?
Kanye.
You know what's wild?
Come back to us, Jay.
We had a whole episode lined up, right? And called Get the Hand Out My Pocket. And it's still, we hit that, like, idea, and we didn't even talk about none of that shit.
Yeah.
We talking about finances, and we talking about all that stuff, like, that's what's wild.
I was like,
it's all good.
You know what I'm saying? So,
ain't no forced conversation. Like I said, we just homies talking. Like, we would do this without the cameras. We just doing this for the camera so, like, people can get the benefit of it, too. Because a lot of people...
Family,
yeah, but think about how many times, like, before... How many times did people get together and just talk? You know what I mean? Like...
I feel like
and that's what we encourage people to do. Like, get out there, just find your group of friends, find your circle, and just talk. And just build. And, like, just make some shit happen.
I feel like dialogue is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, once again, I bring it back to all of this shit when it comes to religion, when it comes to classism, when it comes to racism, when it comes to all of this shit, it's meant to split everybody up.
Yep.
So the moment you sit down and you talk to motherfuckers who's not like you learn stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you trade knowledge. Just like the other day we was in Chapel Hill, 3 Moors came up to us. We were all drunk as fuck having a crazy conversation back and forth because I'm Native American. And he was trying to tell me I was a Moor. I was like, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was still a great conversation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You
and be open-minded and less offended. The other side. You don't have to. You don't have to agree. Yeah, you don't have to agree. Like, you don't have to agree with them. Just hear people out and just let them talk. And like, you don't have to agree. You can agree to disagree.
Just might learn something.
Yeah, you might learn something, and that's what I'm saying. The things that you feel like, okay, like, well, he said something that kind of stood out. Then go do your own research. You don't have to agree because you don't have to agree or disagree. People just let people talk. You don't have to be offended. You know what I mean?
It's just an open dialogue.
It's just conversation.
That's what we told y'all last week. That should be like a goal for this week. Have it out. I do that shit every day.
I feel
my life consists of that.
I did it, but I forgot. I was supposed to come tell you guys a story, but I forgot. I forgot.
I did next week.
Yeah, we have a lot more next week.
Same goal for this week. Get out there and talk.
It's the first of the month. Go pay y'all bills.
Pay my bills too.
Get your finances together. Get your budget together. Be responsible fiscally, sexually, financially.
There you go.
All that good stuff. All that. Yeah, but thanks for joining us today. Yeah,
man. It's
we'll
your boy.
Next week.
It's your boy New Future Flash.
It's your boy Trues. I am True1 on Insta. Just broke 100 followers this week.
We litty. We celebrating.
That's the real mom.
And it's your boy S. Dot, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.
No Yes Men Podcast. Peace.
Riding through the city on my Cali flow. Blessed just to be with you, see. She did crack though. Gotta make a movie with my boo. That's a fact though. Seats back in the Cadillac with the 100 spokes. Everything's so groovy. Bell beef, come do me. It's a crime to love her. You should go on and sue me. She Michael Jackson bad, Janet Jackson nasty. Ooh, she's so sassy, but still keep it classy. Ooh, I had it chosen. Ice cold, she frozen. Ooh, the love so potent. I just caught a POTUS. El Presidente, I like the way